Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Okay, what are you saying, people? Welcome back to another live stream. Hope you're all doing well. Like always, guys, any pairs, any charts, anything you're looking at, or want opinions on, or your opinions, whatever. If you want to share something, just stick it in the chat. We'll take a look at it together. If you want to join my Telegram, feel free to check that out. I post my setups there and my watch list for the week and videos that I post, so make sure you check that out if you want to. And if you are looking for a broker, I do have my affiliate link there in the chat at the top there if you want to check out IC Markets, which is a broker I've been using for some time now. So if you are looking for a broker, feel free to go and check it out. But yeah, guys, welcome back to this stream. Hope everyone is doing well. Wasn't your USD long yesterday, but unfortunately get taken out with a loss for that one. Again, looking like a possible fake fake out to the downside. Had the position yesterday around about here. Excuse me, around about here. And looking for a move to the upside, back to the highs of the range. And as you can see, price kind of faked to the downside. And looking at the DXY, we've kind of seen similar price action there. Because on the DXY yesterday, like I was saying, I was expecting some weakness for the DXY because we were coming back to retest that underside there as resistance. So simply broken support, turn resistance. So I was looking to see a move to the downside yesterday for the DXY. We were holding it on the stream yesterday around about this area here. And change that to black. That area there, and then we had a big push to the upside, which is what knocked my trade out. And now it looks like price is creeping back underneath this level. So this potentially could have been a false breakout. I want to see price kind of close back below this level. And now it'll tell me that that move there was a bit of a false breakout just to take people's trades out, and then potentially we could be seeing a move to the downside after that. So if that's the case for the DXY and we do close back below, I will look for the retest and the continuation. I'll be looking for the same on Euro USD as well, but it does look like the market is just fake to the upside there. Again, in terms of structure, market's still got the lower high, lower low, sorry, lower high, lower low. So potentially the market can pull back anywhere within these areas and still go bearish. So expecting DXY to sell off, but I want to see that confirmed close below to tell me that it's a false break, and then I'm expecting price to go down after that, and then probably look to hop back into Euro USD. Or I might choose a different dollar pair because that one's still a little bit messy. But yeah, still looking at the other pairs on my watch list: AUD-CHF, NZD-CHF, peso. Could you check NZD-CHF? I thought it would drop to 0.59, but it broke and took out 3 of my trades. Yeah, it did take my trade out as well, break even. I was short this one at the start of the week from around there. The stock was just above that high there. So yeah, I was actually in this trade as well on Monday. Then Tuesday is when price, was it Wednesday? Might be Wednesday, can't remember. But yeah, I exited this one at break even. Did see a nice push back into the lows, but as you can see, we failed to take out the lows there. So at that point, that was already not a red flag, but it's a sign that momentum is not looking that good. You know, if the momentum was strong, we should be taking out lows, forming lower highs consistently. However, we were failing to take out those highs. So that's when I put the stop loss to break even. Price took me out there and actually pushed through that resistance stroke trend line. So NZD-CHF again is still trading at the higher time frame level. So technically that area of structure hasn't really broken yet, and we could still go bearish. But yeah, that's the important thing about making sure you're entering at the right areas, because you don't want to be selling the market too low and you don't want to be buying the market too high. You want to be doing the reverse, selling high, buying low, more or less. Obviously with confirmation, not just because the market is high. So yeah, with this type of scenario, the market's very, very choppy here. You can see it almost is a range. It almost is a range for NZD-CHF. So you don't want to be placing any sell entries, you know, in this area here. You want to be focusing your sells up here. So although the market's taken out 3 of your trades for selling NZD-CHF, you know, this is really where you should be looking to enter your trades or looking to get back in if you did get knocked out of your previous trades, because now we're back at resistance, back high. You know, if the market holds this structure, we could definitely see another sell-off happen. But yeah, you don't want to be selling the market too low. Don't marry into trade, marry into a bias, marry into where price has to go. Like I said, my analysis, I'm looking for price to come back down to these lows, but just because my analysis tells me I'm expecting price to come down to those lows doesn't mean that has to happen. We could see a move halfway, which is what price has kind of done right now, and then reverse. We might see price hit my target and reverse, or might see price go a lot further than my target and reverse. So those are all scenarios that could happen, which is why, you know, don't invest too much into one trade, because you know, nothing's guaranteed. But yeah, if that's taking out your trades, I mean, this is back at a nice area to possibly look for some shorts. Nothing really confirmed yet, but as long as we can hold this, I'm still favoring price to go to the downside and hit that low, break through this level. Then we've got, you know, price starting to build up some bullish structure. At that point, we might see a reversal. And same with ADCHF as well. Did see some nice downside for that one, but again came about halfway to the target. Target was down there. Price came about halfway, 0.66, and then reversed from that. Back at highs now, so this is where you want to be entertaining your shorts. But yeah, nothing is guaranteed. Hey Robro, welcome back to the stream. Hope you are doing good. Welcome. Hope everyone is doing good. Euro AUD, of course. Ice burn, no problem. Euro USD, of course. Euro USD, one target today. Miko Aodu. Miko, one target. What do you mean one target? As in, did it hit target? Well, possibly. I mean, target. I was looking for price to come to the highs of the range. As you can see, did not play out according to plan. Well, still technically is pushing, but this to me is a bit of a false break to the downside here, because really price is still holding that exact same support. So to me, that's a bit of a false breakout. You can see better than DXY, bit of a snap there to the upside, but could be possible re-entries. But it's the exact same analysis as yesterday. As long as price holds this area here, I'm still expecting price to push to the upside for Euro USD back to the highs of the range, and from that we'll see what happens, because I was still looking for price to come and retest this area here, broken support time resistance before maybe Euro USD goes bearish again. Still looking for price to come and retest 1.035, but it's up to Euro USD at this point, because we're still stuck in that tight range and we need a bit of a catalyst for us to break out. Could be NFP tomorrow, which is the catalyst for us to break to the upside, or even break to the downside even. Because I still am bearish overall in Euro USD, but I think we could have a push higher before we actually take those continuations. So yeah, with the current price action for Euro USD, still holding support. So same kind of idea as yesterday, looking for a push to the highs of the range. Excuse me, looking for a push to the highs of the range, and then we'll see what happens there. Possibly could see a breakout to 1.03500, or we might again fall over to the downside if price holds that resistance. But for me, Euro USD it is still very much in a bearish market overall. It's just how far does this thing want to retrace. It could snap the support, we might have one more bullish leg and then roll over. Will it reach 1.02400? It could do. I mean, again, I don't know for certain. If it will reach 1.02. I'm expecting to, if it can hold this support. I'm expecting Euro USD to push up. And again, I'm keeping one eye on the DXY as well, because I do want to see the DXY close back below this level. Because at the moment, we've broken above. This potentially could be a retest if the market does pull back up, and it could fly to the upside, which that means Euro USD is probably going to tank at that point, see some downside. So I want to see DXY close back below this level here in the 4H, and that candle closes in about an hour and 37 minutes. So I want to see how that candle closes. If we close back below, I'm treating this push here as a bit of a fake false break. You can see prices consolidating there, big move to the upside, taking stop losses, probably getting some buyers into the market there, now creeping back below. So potential false break there for DXY, and if you get close back below, I'll be expecting price to drop to the downside, which should help out Euro USD, push higher off the back of that. And then 1.024 and then 1.035 off the back of that. But need to wait for that candle closure just to confirm it, because we haven't actually closed below yet, and we could still pull back up and close even bullish potentially. So nothing is confirmed there just yet. But my kind of idea for Euro USD is that the market is still in a range, looking for a swing to the highs of the range, and see what the market can do from there. Potential breakout to that level, and then we could see the reversal off the back of that, or we might just clear the level and come back down to lows. But as long as we can hold 1.01400, 1.024, 1.02500 looks good, and then maybe 1.03 as well. Again to Euro AUD, because I did say that first. Okay, so yeah, Euro AUD, again, target still all the way down here. Still looking for the market to come back into 1.43. So more downside to come. I was expecting the market to retrace a little bit higher yesterday. But we're finding resistance at this area here. So same as yesterday, really. If we can snap through this support, we've probably got a very, very clean, or more or less clean drop to the downside, back down to lows at 1.43. But yeah, as of right now, we're still testing support, so I wouldn't really do anything with this one. I'm not really looking to buy because I do have a bearish bias, so I'm not really trying to buy the pair. If it did push up high into that level, that'd be a great place to sell, but unfortunately the market did not. So with this one, the target's down there at 1.43, waiting for that level to snap, retest, and then continuations to the downside of the back of that. Something like that will look good. So yeah, hopefully that made sense with Euro AUD bearish bias, looking for the market to come back down to 1.43. But yeah, I'd wait for that support to break, or if we do have that move to the upside, that would be nice as well, but I doubt we will. Let me change that to, keeps going to green. Okay, there we go. So yeah, more downside for Euro AUD, but wait for that support to snap. What price level do you think NTCHF will drop today? Well, it's currently trading at a very important area right now. So if it can hold this, then around 0.60600, this level here could be a great place to sell from. Stops above this high up here on the left to give yourself some room, some breathing room to trade with. But yeah, be careful with this one because the market did fail to continue lower. It's still respecting this area here. So really what we got for NZCHF is just a bit of consolidation. So price is now back at the height of consolidation. If we hold this, I'll expect price to drop back down again. And then yeah, we could even see another push back up. So nothing's really confirmed yet with NZCHF. I'll expect momentum to kick in, but since it hasn't, the market's still trapped in that support, holding that resistance. Yeah, it's not looking, as in for a move back down there, it's not looking entirely great anymore, but push to the downside, maybe halfway, maybe back to the lows, does it likely, maybe not back to the swing down there. But yeah, NZCHF, if you're looking to short, 0.60600 is obviously the best place to do that currently. If you break through that, structure's breaking, you know, we could push a lot higher off the back of that. Again, we'll probably wait for some confirmation on the hourly at least to get into the trade. But yeah, entries around here, stops above that high there at 0.60758, and yeah, more downside off the back of that. And a similar analysis to ADCHF as well, both trading at the kind of same zone. Given current bear market conditions, would there be a valid, a somewhat vague definition for the concept of holding momentum towards the downside? Valid or somewhat vague definition for the concept of holding momentum towards the downside. Also, what is the best way to determine within quarterly cycles where price holds? Is holding price considered accumulation? Well, if price is consolidating price is obviously building up orders, both buyers and sellers. So yes, if price is just kind of moving sideways, price is building up, getting ready for its next move. So for example, this right now, price is kind of just building up for its next move. Again, that could be to the upside or to the downside, depends which way we break out. But what price is doing now, it is building up for its next move. And technically, the longer that we consolidate, the longer that we build up in those zones, the bigger the breakout. The math question. What's the best way to determine with the quarterly cycles where price holds? I mean, if you're looking at the quarterly cycles, then you want to be focusing on the 3-month chart. You want to be focusing on the 3-month chart, which is, well, you can do that in TradingView, but you just add in the little 3 there on the bottom left, and you go to months, and then you click add, and it gives you the quarterly chart. So it will show you that each candlestick represents 3 months of price action, which gives you the 3-month candlestick there. So if you're looking at quarterly cycles, you want to be focused on the highs and lows of the previous candle, which gives you the previous quarter. So obviously for this candle here, the highs of the quarter is up there, the lows of the quarter are up there, and from that you can look to trade within those bounds. I think that's probably the best way if you want to trade quarterly prices and quarterly stuff like that. But again, nothing that I really focus too much of my trading on. So if you want to do that, of course, going back test out for yourself. But if you're looking at quarterly prices and levels, you probably want to jump to the 3M chart, 3-monthly chart, and then you can focus on the highs and lows of the candlesticks, because the low will represent the low of that quarter and previous quarters, and you've got the high representing the high of the current quarter or previous quarters if you want to trade with those ranges. But yeah, nothing that I really look at. I do look at the 3-month chart just to give a bigger scope than the monthly, but I don't really base trades from that. How do you use the higher time frame in today for confluence? If you want to use the higher time frames for confluence, I do have a video on that. It's about how to increase your win rate. I'll probably talk a little bit more about actually higher time frame analysis and using it as confluence in a different video. But essentially, all you're looking for is for a higher time frame, is to use the higher time frame to come up with a bias stroke. A bias stroke like destination target for the pair or for your trade, because it's essentially what you want to be doing is trading in the same direction as the higher time frames with your lower time frames to increase the win rate and the kind of probability of your trade working out, and obviously the how long you can hold it as well. Because if you're trading in the same direction as the higher time frames, you can afford to hold your trade longer and stretch the targets further, which is obviously a benefit for us. But to do that, you simply want to analyze the structure on the higher time frames and analyze the trend. You know, is the market bearish or is the market bullish on the higher time frames? Is it consolidating? You know, is it ranges have, you know, a strong level of resistance the market's still respecting? You know, you need to be analyzing, you know, the kind of the way the market is moving, and then you can take that information into the low time frames and still trade the low time frames, but you're using the high time frame knowledge because you're expecting the market to go to a certain direction. So for example, say that this market was to continue bearish, break those lows and continue, and all we're doing is just taking a continuation of this bearish trend. And then if you can drop to our low time frames and we start to see a bearish trend start to develop on the low time frames, let me just get rid of that, a little bit messy. So say we start to see a bearish trend develop in the low time frames, then we can still short this, and we know that this bearish trend in the low time frames probably will continue a lot further. Reason being, we're still in a bearish trend on the higher time frames as well. So you kind of want to be looking for structure to line up with structure and higher time frames. So if one time frame is bearish, drop lower. If that's bearish as well, that's great. Then you can look to stretch that trade further. If one time frame is bullish and the other's bearish and they're not quite in sync, you probably want to wait until they are in sync and then enter your trades. But yeah, all you're essentially looking for is for the market to be in the same direction as each other. So if the daily is bearish and you take your entries on the hourly, wait for that to be showing, you know, signs of turning bearish or being bearish, and then you can enter your trades, and hopefully the trade will go a lot further because you're still taking advantage of the daily momentum as well, not just the hourly. But yeah, I'll do a more in-depth video on that topic because I do use it a lot in my trading, so I'll do a more in-depth video of the breakdown of kind of higher time frame analysis and using low time frames to enter. Which reminds me, I will be posting a video tomorrow about how I analyze the charts and how I like develop a bias and develop levels of entry. So I will be posting that video tomorrow. So make sure you subscribe to not miss out on that video. But yeah, guys, gonna still see what's happening. I mean, my main focus is to see what happens with the dollar pairs. We do have actually interest rates later today for pounds. So if anyone's trading pound, do watch out and be careful. Let me see what time actually that is happening. Okay, so we got Bank of England interest rate decision at 12. Okay, so an hour and 25 minutes from now. Okay, so it's not long away at all. So yeah, we do have interest rates later for GBP, Bank of England. So anyone trading any pound pairs, do keep an eye out for that. And we do have some dollar news later on today as well at 1:30. Jobless claims, we'll see how that affects the market. But yeah, we do have some pound news, well, big pound news, interest rates, and some dollar news following up. Then obviously tomorrow we do have NFP, and then we do have some CAD news as well, unemployment rate. So yeah, the market could see a bit of activity today and tomorrow as well, especially the pound pairs. I mean, we'll see how the pound pairs react to the end of the stream. But yeah, pound is looking a little bit dry, to be fair, which makes sense because it's probably just waiting for some momentum from the news. And we're expecting interest rates to go up, so should be bullish for pound, should see upside for pound. But whether that happens or not, it's completely up to the participants of the market, which is practically impossible to determine as a retail trader. So we'll see what happens. CAD JPY, I think so. So yeah, I'm still looking to short the JPY pairs, in particular pound JPY. But yeah, CAD JPY, it is still pushing up with respect to these lows here. It has broken through this area here, which was the first area I said if you can hold, look to sell. And as you can see, the market is trading back above that. So the next area I'm interested for CAD JPY to short is slightly further up at 105 200, more or less around that area, where you could possibly come to that level and see some downside off the back of that if we can hold. But for me right now, the market is still looking bullish. I was about to say bearish, still looking quite bullish. So there's no real confirmations to get into any sells really. So for this one, I do think we can push a little bit higher, come into that 105 200 mark, and we see what type of price action we can get up there. Possibly that next low high, somewhere around there, and then we can see a nice bearish leg to the downside. First target back at 103 500 in that level, then we can push it back down to lows, so on and so forth. But yeah, I do agree with that. Shorts do look good, but not quite yet. Not quite yet. After breaking that level yesterday, looks like we could be going to our second area, and then we'll see what type of price action we get up there. But as of right now, CAD JPY is still looking bullish, so I would sell it right now. Of course, if you've got a plan in place or something, then yeah, go ahead. But personally, I'm waiting for price to push to 105 200 first, and then take the shorts based off that. Morning Dorcas, welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing well. Any pairs you're looking at? Any pairs taking your fancy or interest in? And use JPY as well. I mean, all the JPY pairs are kind of in sync very much, all dropped together, all seeing a little bit of a raise together. I was looking to see if price come back into here, and now we're trading at this level. So if you can hold that, I do think we can see another drop right back down to that same level of support there, and then we might see a snap of that and see the higher time frames start to take control from a bearish point of view. But as of right now, again, nothing really there. All the JPY pairs still looking quite bullish. Oh, okay. 5 minute skull. Okay, so no swing point of view. Okay, I'll go take a look at CAD then from a 5M. Okay, 5 minute. Yeah, 5 minutes looking quite bullish. So yeah, I wouldn't say short this. I mean, it's coming up to a nice high, but in the 5 minute chart, I'll just get rid of all of this. In the 5 minute chart, we'd be making higher highs and higher lows consistently, as you can see. Nice pullback, nice push, and now we're back at this high. So yeah, I would not short CAD JPY in the 5 minute. Everything is still pointing to the upside on the 5 minute chart, as you can see. Momentum is still to the upside. So with this one, yeah, we might see some type of reaction coming into this high, but I won't expect it to be too crazy. Might maybe see a pullback into this area at best, and then I'm expecting price to probably just take us straight through those highs there instead. So yeah, if you're looking to short this, I'd wait for structures to start to change, or at least come to a strong level of resistance, which is around that 105 level up there. So yeah, yes, we are coming to those highs, but I would not short that. Structure's still very bullish with this one. Higher highs and high lows still been printing. The chances are we're going to see some higher highs and then pull back after that. So you're best waiting for a pullback and getting long, or at least waiting for a break and retest of that to go long, because 5 minute perspective, things are still looking bullish. So again, unless you've got something in place where you're looking to trade based on a plan, then fair enough. But looking at that from structure and momentum, everything is still looking bullish to me, so I wouldn't entertain any sells. Hey, morning, Backriz Forex. Welcome back to the stream. How are you? I'm looking at gold. Okay, let's take a look at gold. So gold, interesting price action yesterday. I said we're looking for that double top yesterday because we're coming into that trend line, which it looks like price could be looking to break. I said could be because it hasn't actually confirmed the break yet. Potentially could do today though. But that trend line there is where price was trading yesterday. I said we're looking for a potential double top at this area here, and the market could potentially sell off back to the downside. We did see that double top, but we failed to take out these lows, respect to the lows, and price obviously used that to push through to the upside. So with gold, we are losing steam. You can see how choppy we are. Again, that 18100, not 18100, sorry, just 1800. That 1800 level was my original target for gold, and looks like price could still be heading towards that. We may struggle coming back into these highs, however. So if you're looking at gold, now that we're pushing through there, now we're coming back into seller's territory. So see what happens at this area here. Could be some nice sells to take advantage of. If not, then that 1800 level looks good. Slightly higher up, again, for some sells. So not really looking to buy gold anymore. I was hoping for a pullback down to 1745, didn't quite get that. So for me, gold more upside and some sells back at these highs here. If we get some good price action, and then yeah, if not, 1800 sells back to the downside. But yeah, bearish from gold. Not really looking at buying the pair. I know we are looking quite bullish here, but I know the higher time frames are still quite bearish. If I go on the daily chart real quick, you can see high up there, low, lower high, low, lower high, low. Looking for the next lower high potentially for gold. Doesn't necessarily have to come back down to those lows, but we could snap a few pips to the downside. No problem, Abdul. Hey Will, welcome to the stream. Much appreciated, bro. Much appreciated. Always saying hello every few months. Love to see it. But yeah, so yeah, gold more upside, but I do think we could sell off eventually, because again, we still do have that liquidity below those lows there, which for me, I still expect price to eventually take out. Even though we are looking quite bullish, I expect the lower high to form and us to return back down to these lows. So yeah, for me, gold still overall bearish on that one, but need to wait for price to come to some areas of value before we can short that. So do keep an eye out for that for gold, but nothing there yet. I mean, what's your bias for gold? You're looking to sell, buy, or you just keep an eye on gold, not necessarily have a bias for it? Because yeah, I would really touch it just yet. Again, I'm still waiting to see what the dollar's going to do. Dollar is looking quite bearish there. That 4H candle is bleeding a little bit. So if that can close hour and 15 minutes, close underneath that level, then yeah, looking good for some weakness for the dollar, which should drive gold higher off the back of that. So could see gold push into the highs and then possibly 1800. Then from there we'll look to see what type of signs of reversal we can get. But yeah, if we get that close, then we should see some weakness. Again, I mean, for most of the dollar pairs, I was saying, excuse me, most of the dollar pairs, I was saying I was expecting price to go up, and a lot of them did, but unfortunately my trade kind of tanked first before price did push through. But AUD yesterday, I was expecting price to go up. There's a few people looking for some sells for AUD because of this strong bearish candle, but we had to realize where we were closing into. We're closing into a lot of wicks here, telling us that from a daily perspective, the market is failing to really push through this. So even though, yes, there's a strong daily candle closure looking very, very bearish, it's also telling us that we're still in that support where the wicks have collected. We still haven't broken through it. So unless we saw this candle close below, which we didn't, then I'll be saying, okay, we could be getting that break lower, but we held it. So still expecting price to return back to highs. Whether we break through that is a different question entirely. But yeah, still expecting a push back into around the 0.7, 0.72. We'll see what type of price we can get there. Did see some nice upside again for USD as well, retesting that level. Again, not as strong bearish candle, but still strong bearish engulfing, still coming back into this support here. You can see how many wicks were coming into this area here. So it tells us, even from a daily perspective, yes, we do have a strong bearish engulfing, but support and resistance for me triumph over candlesticks. Candlesticks are very, very good, but you need to use them in confluence with support and resistance, because if you have a strong level of resistance and you see a strong bullish candle into that level, it doesn't necessarily mean that the market is going to go up. It depends if it's going to break that level or not. If it doesn't break, doesn't matter how strong the bullish candle is, price will reverse against you. So again, candlesticks in the higher time frame is very, very good, but use them in confluence with levels, and also use them in confluence with structure on trend basis as well. So as the USD is still holding into that support, again, push back to highs, but then we'll see what happens, because again, the market is obviously showing a lot of signs that it's having trouble going higher. So we might push back into there, consolidate, and drop back down again. So do keep an eye out for that. Just because we're looking up doesn't mean we're going to the moon. It just means that momentum is still with the buyers, and we're probably going to push back to highs and see what happens from that. Pound USD, we kind of formed the head and shoulder / we didn't, because price is still holding onto this level here on the left. So that 1.22 support swing low, taking that across, price is still holding onto that as resistance. So it's a weird one, because we closed above, closed below, price is kind of just consolidating. So really in this kind of type of circumstance, I'll kind of just let price be and not really read too much into price action. I'm really waiting for price to give me a clean breakout, clean rejection, those type of setups. So the setups you want to be trading, not the ones that are kind of there, kind of not there. Those are the kind of half-assed opportunities which don't really give the best results in the long term. Sure, you could probably win a few opportunities, but in the long run, probably best not to trade them. So with this one, it's kind of just broken back down, kind of just trading alongside that level. So basically the same as I said yesterday, if you can break back above that area, retest it, then the buys from that would look good. And same with the sells. If you can really break through this area here, come back, retest it, and then again sells to the downside would look a lot better. But yeah, pound, still just keep an eye on dollar. If dollar does fall, then we could break back above that level. But yeah, nothing really there yet for pound USD. No real opportunity for me. Best low commission broker. Don't necessarily know the best low commission broker. I don't really judge brokers by low commission. Judge them on many things. You know, could be a lot of dodgy brokers that will say, yeah, I've got low commission, come to me, and then yeah, they could definitely do some shady stuff. So yeah, don't necessarily go for the lowest commission broker or necessarily lower spreads. You want to do, you know, your research into a broker and look at a wide range of things: withdrawals, you know, deposits, you know, ways to withdraw and deposit money, you know, whether they're regulated or not. So don't necessarily know the best low commission broker. IC Markets is quite good. Commissions are not high, so you can check out IC Markets if you want. I've got a affiliate link there if you want to use it as well. But yeah, don't necessarily know the lowest commission broker. Hey, welcome to the stream. Help us, Anna. Analyze pound CAD. Okay. We wanted me to help Anna there for a second. So yeah, with pound CAD, I was analysing this on my weekly analysis. So coming into the week, I do analyse a bunch of pairs on my channel, my weekly analysis. If you haven't checked that out, feel free to go do so. It's on my channel. But yeah, I was analysing pound CAD coming into the week, and I said to you guys on the weekend that if we can stay above this area here, which the market did, looking for a push eventually back to 158, 158, which we came pretty close to, not quite test the level, but yeah, more or less came pretty close. So pound CAD's now seeing some downside, you know, kind of reacting from that area. The market is still definitely bearish. As you can see, market is still definitely bearish. The lower lows and lower highs there, and potentially you could be seeing one there as well. So with me for pound CAD, I'm not trying to do too much right now because we're not really trading at an area of value for me. I want to see price either push to 158 or come back to 155 before I try and do anything. Those are my areas of value in here. It's just, you know, kind of price just fluctuating really. So I wouldn't really look to place a trade unless we can come up to one of those areas. If we do see another kick to the upside, sells from 158 would look good because you could be catching that next lower high. I think if I do map out a bit of a, oh, wrong high, bit of a trend line, more or less coming into that area there, connecting that high, this high, that high there as well, could be coming into this area here. So the other push into 158, because we didn't quite test the level when we did push up. So see if we can come really test that level, reject it, and then yeah, some sells back down again do look good. Or if we do come back to 155, same thing as well, another fluctuation back to the upside, hold that level, do expect us to push through, because pound CAD on the higher time frames, particularly the monthly, you know, is trading at a very, very important area of support. As you can see, we consolidated here and flew to the upside 1st of July 2013. So we haven't tested this level for quite some time, almost 10 years, and now we're back at that same level, and you can see the type of momentum that came from that level there. And now we've fallen to the downside pretty abruptly, back into that same level. I'm expecting to see some type of reaction from here. Again, doesn't have to be as big as that, but I do think we can see a few bullish bumps maybe to the upside from this. We might go and break it, who knows, eventually, but I do expect to see some type of reaction here. And you can see the candlesticks in the monthly as well are slowing down. We had a huge bearish candle here, then a slightly smaller candle, and a slightly smaller candle, roughly the same size, and again a smaller candle with more wicks to the downside, as you can see. So momentum is depleting for pound CAD, more wicks to the downside, smaller bodies. I do think we can see, you know, a bit of a burst to the upside from this area for pound CAD, which is why, you know, a push back into 155 still looks like a good buy, and 158, as long as we can hold that, still looks like a good sell to continue the trend. If we can see a breakout through that, then yeah, we could be looking at a nice reversal, but only until then. So yeah, pound CAD, if you're looking to trade this, I'd wait for push into 155, and then some longs from there. Coming to this support, let me just get rid of that monthly zone out of the way. Coming into this support here, and then longs to the upside. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. ADJY, hey, thank you so much for subscribing. Much appreciate. Yeah, guys, if you're enjoying the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any other content. Make sure you hit the bell as well, so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads. And if you are enjoying the content, leave a like on the video. Leave a like on the video. It does really help the channel out, guys. So I do really appreciate that. But yeah, ADJY from a bullish flag on 4H and daily, it took it good to take trade for long term. I'll go and have a look. Any advice for beginner trader who has yet to trade consistently on how to bet and accurately read price action on short term and long term? Yeah, JR, yeah, I think you're doing too much. I think you're doing too much because, again, this is just me just kind of thinking out loud a little bit, because I can see the type of questions you ask, and a lot of them are good questions, but if you're a beginner trader, then you don't necessarily need to know the knowledge of the questions you're asking, because a lot of them are a bit more advanced, and they're a bit more like, once you've already kind of sussed out your kind of strategy, your kind of style of trading, the questions you're asking and the information you're looking to seek are good information to kind of add to ready winning formula. And if you're not really, you know, consistent with the knowledge you already have, then you shouldn't really be looking to seek more knowledge. You should be looking just to understand what you have already to a very, very good level, because any strategy in Forex is profitable, really. I mean, with trading, it's like 10% technicals, 90% psychology, really, because there's so many different strategies out there, indicators, whatever, that all do work if you do play out the numbers, but it's the psychology and kind of the process of taking trade after trade and staying on plan. That's the real difficult bit in trading. So yeah, with trading, it's about 10% technicals and 90% psychology, and a lot of the technicals you do see online, you know, do work. They do definitely work, but you just have to obviously just play out the numbers and back test it properly, so you know it works and you have actually belief in the plan. So as a beginner trader, focus on basic technical support, resistance, trend lines, candlesticks, market structure. Just those 4 things at least. You know, understand those to a good ability, practice them a lot, and then you can look to advance and look to add, you know, more kind of ideas to your trading. But yeah, if you haven't yet reached that consistent basis, then you know you need to find consistency with what you already know. So don't try and seek more knowledge. Again, it's not me trying to like handicap you, because obviously more knowledge is better, but not at the beginning. At the beginning, it's overwhelming. You know, when you do a course at university, a course whatever, you're not learning everything at the beginning. You learn a little bit, you understand that, you move to the next section, you understand that, move to the next section, you understand that, then you start combining things from different sections that you already studied, and then you progress to the end of the course where you've done everything. And that's a bit like trading with technicals and everything as well. Start a little bit, but make sure you understand it, not just okay, this is how it works. You want to properly understand it, as in trade with it consistently. So that goes with support and resistance, market structure, higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, and understanding that to a good ability. So yeah, my advice is start with one or two things, understand that to a good ability, and then look to progress. Because there's no need to learn everything. You'll learn everything eventually. Actually, you probably won't learn everything eventually, because you probably get to a point where you don't need to learn anything more, because you're already fine. But yeah, that's my advice to you, because you do ask a lot of good questions, but you don't necessarily need to know the answer to them just yet, especially as a beginner. If you've been trading for years, then yeah, fair enough. But if you're a beginner, there's no real need. Pound JPY 1H break and retest. No, actually go take a look at ADJPY, because I completely just missed that one out. But yeah, pound JPY 1H time frame break, resistant to the upside, waiting retracement to the last higher high, then go for a buy. Okay, I'll go take a look. ADJPY. Okay, so said bull flag. Did you say bullish flag on 4H and daily? It's good to take for long. Okay, let's have a look. So yeah, ADJPY is the only JPY pair that I was saying that doesn't look like it potentially might roll over. It could do, but all the other JPY pairs do look good for some downside. But because ADJPY is still hanging on to the support and really just throwing wicks for it, we haven't really seen the bear step in and control the market. Other markets we have, this one we haven't. So the bull flag on the 4H, let me see. Yeah, I'm not really seeing that bull flag too much. More what I'm seeing right now is kind of just consolidation. This to me is a bit more of a bull flag, because we've got, you know, the push, the retracement, the second push, the retracement, and then the continuation. So this to me is a bit more of a bull flag because it's slanted. It's got a bit more of an angle to it, whereas this is just consolidation. If we do break to the upside, then yeah, you could probably classify it as a bull flag potentially, because you know there is a bit if you count the kind of trend line. So yeah, I can probably see that. But yeah, more or less the way I look at it is because there's not really too much of an angle to it. I'm more focused on it as consolidation, but it's basically the same thing really. It's just at an angle really, because if price does break the highs of the consolidation, then we're going to continue obviously, and if you do break the lows, we're probably going to reverse. So the way I'm looking at AJPY is just price respecting that support and price respecting that resistance. Yes, or not yesterday, 2 days ago, we saw a big wick below, price then closed bullish, giving us that bullish engulfing candle pattern, and now we're seeing a continuation of that to the upside. So with this one, entries would have been good in and around this area here. Not necessarily, I mean, depends. If you're looking to trade on the daily time frame, even the daily time frame, you would have wanted to enter on that bullish candle here. It's already pushed a little bit away from now. But yeah, you wouldn't really want to enter any longs here, because the trade's already in motion, we're already pushing. You want price to come back to the support, back to the start, where you can look to load up your long positions. Now you probably want to see price break through this resistance here to get your longs back in, because really this is a range, and now we're trading back at the equilibrium of the range, which for me is never really a good place to buy and sell the market in any type of range, depending on where you think the market will go. So yeah, we're coming to the middle of the range right now. I wouldn't really do anything with this one. If you do have that bullish bias, you're looking for that kind of bull flag to play out, then I'll wait for price to return back to the lows. If it does, it may not, of course, or wait for price to snap and break through the highs, break and retest, and then we get the continuation. And it is a pretty strong level as well. If I do drag it across, you can see it was the high up there. So if you can snap through that, break and retest, can get some nice longs, because you said you are looking from a 4H daily perspective. So yeah, I would wait for that level to break to get the confirmed longs. Obviously you could buy here, but it's just not a necessarily good area because you're in the middle of the range here. Price could come back down again, could push up, respect to come back down. So yeah, if we do come back down, then you got some good longs at 92-ish, around that level. But you could also wait for 95 to break through as well. But yeah, if you're looking for the long term, I'll wait for that level to snap to get the confirmation, or like I said, come back down to the lows. But yeah, I do agree with your analysis. Okay, I'll take a look at pound JPY. Okay, I think it is the understanding solidifying the knowledge, but the absorption of the math is not there right now. This is why I continue to watch. Yeah, I mean, yeah, is it like I said, you need to understand what you kind of already understand, because there's a different thing. You could know support and resistance, but to understand it and how it works from a trading perspective is a different ball game for me, because you can teach anyone support and resistance, but just because you taught them support resistance doesn't necessarily mean they can trade support resistance. You know, there's a big difference to that. You can teach someone a strategy, but then they might not be able to actually trade the strategy. You know, that takes experience. It takes, you know, actually trading it, getting it wrong, and then learning from your mistakes. So yeah, really understanding what you already know, and then progressing from there, I think is definitely thing you need to work on. And same for a lot of people as well. But I do appreciate that. Hey, thank you very much, JR. Much appreciate. Okay, so we'll take a look at pound yen. Okay, 1 hour break and retest to the upside, wait on retracement. The last high 162.900, and then going for a buy at 163.750. What do you think? Okay, so where is 162.900? Okay, so that's back at these highs, I assume. Uh, 163.750. What's that? 163.750. Okay, this high up here. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, price is looking quite bullish, so it may not retrace. It may not retrace because the 4H candle closed. Was it last? Yeah, not this candle, but the candle before in the hourly. And it's looking very, very bullish. So we might just see a continuation and just go and hit that target straight away. You may just go and do that. It would be nice if price was to obviously come back, break and retest, give you a nice little entry, and then trade it and trade the range to the upside. So yeah, the setup does look good. It does look very, very good. It just if just, you know, price needs to retrace, really. It may not do that. I'm looking at momentum and the structure. I mean, it could do. It's the type of trade where you just want to set an alert. And just wait to see if that alert triggers, really, because there's nothing really to do unless you're trading breakouts, which I assume you're not. There's nothing really to do there. It might just go and hit that target straight away. So yeah, if it does pull back, it does look like a good setup. The structure is with you in your favor. Momentum's looking good, and next logical place you would expect pound JPY to hit is that lower high down the left. So it does make a whole lot of sense. You need to see if price can be traced. Also, GU is on a 4H wick area, could see a little retracement. Okay, we're gonna have to take a look at pound USD. Don't you look at the news? Do you use Forex Factory or something? How do you check the news? I use the economic calendar on my FX book. I do use Forex Factory as well, but I've always used my FX book, and I kind of like how it presents the information. Very simple and easy to kind of just take out. Forex Factory is good because it has that little section where you can actually find out a little bit more about the history of how things have affected in the past and interpret the news a little bit better. But I like my FX book, so it's just quick and simple, low impact, high impact. You know, you get on with your trading. So yeah, Forex Factory is good, but I use my FX book, economic calendar as well, and yeah, that's just how I check the news. We do have some interest rates for Bank of England in the next kind of 50 minutes, 5-0 from now. So if you are trading pound, do watch out, which is what we're looking at right now, pound JPY and pound USD. But yeah, we do have some big boy news. Yes, got the alert on GJ, just possibility watching it. Okay, good. Nice and calm. Not trying to chase the trade, because again, emotions could get the better of you. You know, you might feel like you're getting missed out with that trade, and then you look to just buy it because it's not getting a break and retest, and then you're in some drawdown, it doesn't hold the level. You know, things can go bad. So best thing to do, obviously wait for the setup to come to you. If you do get that pullback, happy days, we'll look to take the trade. If it doesn't, you know, it just hits the target, onto the next setup. So yeah, set the alert and just wait and see. But I like it. But you can't see what individual speakers say when someone's, I don't really look too much into news. I don't really look too much into the fundamentals. I'm more looking to the price action after the fundamentals that happen, and that's how I kind of interpret the fundamentals really. So I'm very price action based. I don't really focus on the fundamentals, because to me at the end of the day, it's all how people react to the fundamentals which drives price. You know, people get excited, people get fearful, that drives the market, not necessarily the news actually happening. So I'm always looking at the price action after. So yeah, you can't see what they're saying. Obviously you can just research on some other sites, but for me that doesn't really have too much use, because the price action will tell the story. The price action will tell the story. Of course, it's obviously more information the better. So if you know what they're saying, obviously that is a benefit, but not entirely important. But yeah, I was about to say I'll trade pound USD. I'll look at pound USD now. Okay, yeah, need to be honest, you avoid a lot of noise like that too. Yeah, exactly. Because again, you can get caught up with the news a little bit. You know, expecting this to happen, it doesn't happen, but then it kind of long term. You know, so for me, I just focus on the price action. I might look to, I probably will look to add fundamentals a lot more into my trading, especially from a swing perspective. I can take advantage of that, because again, a lot of the JPY pairs have just been affected by that. You know, with the Japanese government just weakening the currency, obviously it's driven a lot of these JPY pairs up. So if you knew that from a fundamental perspective, you can take advantage of these swings. Obviously technicals will show buys as well, but from a technical standpoint, you wouldn't necessarily expect price to break out so aggressively and keep flying to the highs that these JPY pairs have reached. From a technical standpoint, fundamentals is what give us that momentum and those highs. So yeah, I do want to add it to my game, but for me it's not the end all. Like, you can trade perfectly fine without fundamentals. Okay, so yeah, pound USD. So basically, like I said yesterday, still trading alongside that level there, that daily level. So I'm looking to see if price will break, retest it, or do something with it. Basically, it's kind of just fluctuating at that level. So I still haven't really determined what I want to do with pound USD yet. I'm still looking at the DXY on the left. On the left? Doesn't make no sense. I'm still looking at the DXY to see what happens with that candle there, how it closes in 45 minutes. But then anything I say with pound could go out the water right now, to be fair. it could go out the water with the interest rates coming out a little bit later. So take it with a pinch of salt, because we could just see a huge candle going up or a huge candle going down. But yeah, pound USD was still trading along that level. So like I said at the start of the stream, waiting for price to break above, retest it, and then go long from there, or break back below, retest it, and go long from there. But yeah, we are seeing a lot of wicks to the downside. So price is struggling. It is struggling to break lower. The high lows are still intact, as you can see. Got a low up there, high low, high low, high low, high low, possible next high low. So the market is still consistently give us those higher lows, showing that the buyers are still in control of this market. But ideally, you want price to break above that 1.22, and then we can look for the continuations above that. But we'll have to see, because the news comes out in 45 minutes, and unless you're looking to take a trade in those 45 minutes, it's probably best just to wait for after the news before looking to enter. And I'll probably give the news at least half an hour to settle. Maybe an hour might be better if there's a speech half an hour later. Let me go check actually. Okay, there is no speech half an hour later, or according to my Facebook, there isn't. Okay, so yeah, if we get the news at 12, you probably want to wait till at least 12:30, see what happens, and then try and make your decisions after that. So give the news about half an hour to do its thing, or an hour if you want to leave a little bit more room. But I'd say at least half an hour, and then you can probably look again and see what happens with price from that perspective. Okay, so you can get removed nicely. Shame. Okay, so do you trade pound JPY and GU, or just one, since they're quite correlated? No, I trade them both. I look at the best, whichever's got the best opportunity, whichever makes the most sense to me out of the structure and the price action. Basically, the one with the most confidence, I'll look to trade. But yeah, I trade both pound JPY and pound USD. Probably one of my favorite pairs, to be fair, alongside Euro USD. From fundamentals, surely pound will go up with 50 points. Yeah, you would expect pound to go up. You expect pound to go up, but that hasn't always been 100%. That always hasn't been 100%. Like interest rates to go up. You do expect the currency to go up 9 times out of 10, or I'd say actually 8 times out of 10. Well, I mean, you do expect it to go up, but in terms of what actually happens in the market, sometimes you do see the market fall first before it does go up, maybe later. Sometimes the market does that. It'll kind of react kind of the opposite direction to the news, and then kind of as the day progresses, it slowly corrects itself, or as the week progresses, potentially slowly correct itself and then goes in the correct direction. But yeah, it's not always 100%. I mean, I've seen a lot of times with Aussie dollar and New Zealand dollar where rates have been increased, but we've seen some big sell-offs for them. As of late as well, Aussie dollar, was it this week or was it last week? I think it was this week. Yeah, it was this week. This moved to the upside here, so we did see Aussie dollar increase interest rates, but take a big dive to the downside. But you can see it's corrected itself. It's come up and it's come back down. So I would expect a bullish pounds, but it may not happen instantly. It may change. We may go bearish first, then go bullish, or we might just fly. But all in all, I'm not really looking to trade it at that time. I'd wait for at least 30 minutes. We've got to dive more into intraday, then we could trade together more. I don't swing trade, it just takes so long, although it's a clearer picture, but I can't sit there for days. I mean, that's the thing about swing trading. People think it takes long, but it actually doesn't. It actually doesn't. If you really think about it, because if you think about it, because like say for a month you've got 30 days. You've got 30 days to trade. Doesn't matter if you're a scalper, intraday, a day trader, swing trader, or position trader. Everyone's got 30 days to trade. You know, with swing trading, you know, you can make easily 3, 4, 5% in one trade. That could take, you know, a whole week to play out. But at the end of the day, you haven't taken much trades. You've only risked a little bit to make the 3, 4, 5%. I know you can do that in low time frames as well, but because it's slower, you know, you take less trades, which means you wait for the more quality setups, and it gives you more time to trade. But just because it takes the days to play out doesn't necessarily mean there's less profit. Or, well, I suppose from one standpoint it's less profit because there's less trades, but not all the time more trades means more profit, because I find that a lot of trading is quite negative at the end of the day because you're taking less quality setups. So I think really less is more actually. But yeah, you're gonna, the way I see it is that you're gonna live those 30 days whatever happens. You're gonna live those 30 days as a scalper, as a day trader, or a swing trader. Just because a trade takes long doesn't mean, you know, you're making less money or profit. It's difficult to explain because you are right, it does take longer, of course, and there's a bit more patience involved. Patience for the setup to come, patience to enter, patience to actually see the setup through. So yes, that is definitely the case, but you're catching bigger pieces of the pie really. But again, it's each their own. You don't have to be a swing trader. Day trader's fine, scalper's fine. Again, I've tried scalping, wasn't for me. You know, way too fast paced. I didn't really like it. I didn't really like the fast paced decision making. I feel like that kind of hindered me a lot because, you know, you can find the trade very quickly, take the trade and be out of the trade very quickly. So you have to be on point, especially if you're managing large capital. You know, you can't afford to be making poor decisions after poor decisions, because very easily a big amount of your capital could go in just a little piece of a session. Whereas for swing trading, it takes time for you to actually lose quite a lot of your capital. But scalping, a big portion go quite quickly, so your decision making has to be on point. And there we go again, on cue. You don't trade gold? I do trade gold sometimes, but not really. I do trade gold here and there, but yeah, not near as much as I trade FX pairs. But I do analyze gold. I do look at gold a lot. It's just that I have a lot more comfortable with Forex pairs than gold. So I stick to it. But yeah, I do dibble and dabble in gold though. Okay, yeah, I'll take a look at gold, no problem. Maybe I do a demo account, trade for it every day, and then my life focus on swing trade. Yeah, I mean, you could do that if you want. I mean, you'd be surprised. I mean, I always think it as well from a long-term perspective, like what I see myself doing in 10 years. Like in 10 years time, do I see myself trading, you know, kind of fixed at my desk, you know, every single morning or afternoon or whatever time it is, or do I see myself kind of just in and out of the markets, you know, occasionally getting in, getting out, kind of managing it from a swing perspective whilst I'm doing other stuff? You know, that's kind of how I see myself in the future. So that's kind of what I'm trying to create really, and trade towards more of a relaxed trading style where I analyze the market for a bit, see what's happening from a swing perspective for the next week or next 2 weeks, enter here, manage it as I go along, rather than, you know, in and out very quickly. But again, that's just my style. Some people like the day trading perspective. Some people like the scalping in and out, done for the day. Go and do whatever you want. But that's just what I see myself doing. But yeah, we'll take a look at gold. So gold, again, still looking at that next major lower swing high with respect to that high up there. So still looking for sells, but we possibly could push to 1800 first, which is a key psychological level, and also this major level of support which you broke through for a lot of momentum. Never came for the retest, so we are looking for one. But yeah, I'm looking at selling gold. I'm not actually looking at trading gold, but I do have a sell bias for this one, expecting that low high to eventually form. We could form at this high up here, around 1786, or we might push into the daily level up there and then sell off. But either which way, I'm looking for us to sell off and eventually come back to the 1670 lows, which is these weekly wicks down here, which is where I'm expecting price to eventually get to for gold. But we'll see what happens, because at the moment dollar's still looking like it's got a bit of juice in it, so we might push a little bit higher first. But yeah, 1786, see what type of price actually we can get there, and then possibly some sells. If not, 1800, nice psychological level, probably get some nice sells up there. So yeah, bearish bias for gold, looking at selling at those two areas there. But again, don't necessarily have to set it all the way back down to the lows down the weekly. You can take your targets wherever you want them. So I hope that made sense on gold. I mean, what's your guys' bias in gold? What are you trying to do in gold? Looking to buy, sell? 100% don't need to deviate too much if something works. Exactly. It's all about just improving. Really, for me, it's all about just kind of just improving on what you already know, really, and just seeing how you can improve slightly in increments. There's no need to do a whole 180 and just change everything. Only trade GJ and gold. Okay, nice. GJ and gold. Some pairs with a bit of a kick to them. I like it. Geopolitics a bit spicy at the moment as well. Okay, so do you focus on fundamentals quite a lot then, Rel? Do you focus on fundamentals quite a lot? As in, do you like base a trade from? Obviously, you use technicals to enter your trades and whatnot. But do you make sure that there's fundamentals backing each trade? Or is it just like kind of, okay, I've got a bias, so to speak, but doesn't necessarily have to fit the trade? Can you adjust the amount of words one can type in a comment? I didn't know it works. I come to the limit almost every time. I didn't know there was a limit. I didn't know there was a limit to the comments. I had no idea. I mean, I'll try, but I don't think there's a way to adjust the word count. Maybe in my settings on my YouTube kind of studio there might be something there, but yeah, I had no idea. YouTube needs to add voice notes. But I'll investigate, but yeah, I don't know at the moment. I think the same, to be honest. Continue exhaust, then retrace. If it breaks the bullish structure, then we can go to 1700 again. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at as well. Back down to those lows there. No, trade price action and EMAs really, but I'm just interested. Okay, just interested. Okay, so is that kind of like a, what's the word? Is that like just like a natural interest to geopolitics? So like outside of trading? I don't really care about fundamentals too much. Okay, makes sense. So you just find it interesting outside of trading. Okay, makes sense. I mean, I suppose it's not a bad interest to have, to be fair, because it will have some links to your trading. And the more you know, the better, really. Yeah, of course. But I try not to involve it when taking a trade because it complicates too much. Yeah, simple is definitely the way to go. Trying to overcomplicate stuff to try and always be right is it's a never-ending battle, really. There's no real need to do that. Well, once you accept that, you always have the uncertainty of a trade possibly losing. Then you start to understand that, okay, less is actually more. Simple is actually more. But yeah, AU is looking a little bit strong there. Dollar's going to close in half an hour. We'll see how it looks. But yeah, dollar could take a little bit of a dive. This looks like it'd just be a big fake out to the upside yesterday. So I was looking for the break and retest of this structure here to continue south. But yeah, it looks like market just faked out yesterday. Even yesterday's candle closes a wick as well. Well, it closes a doji, but it was a wick to the upside. So yeah, we could roll over. There it is. That's a 200 character limit, hard to set. Yeah, hard set by YouTube. Yeah, I would expect to. I would expect it to be so. Yeah, I don't think I have much say in the workout. If I could, I would, but I'm gonna have to break up the messages. More of a hobby interest, really. Okay, yeah, that's what I was trying to say. But yeah, I'm actually starting to look into, well, I haven't actually started yet, but I want to start to look into fundamentals from a swing perspective. Because the way I do map out my trades, I do map out kind of short, medium, and long term. So I want to try to see if I can get some confluence between some fundamentals and my kind of long-term analysis, not necessarily short-term or medium-term, but for the long-term, I'd quite like to see if I can get some fundamental confluence for that, and see how that works out. Because a lot of the time, when I do analyze on the higher time frames and I look for those longer-term moves, probably say about 70% of them are correct. And then these are not like small moves either, they're quite big moves. Like if I go to pound USD, like where's pound? So yeah, I can't remember how long ago it was, but when we were having this breakout here on the monthly, weekly time frame, from this resistance, the next logical place for pound USD to go was back all the way up to that resistance there. So that's what I was expecting pound to go after we had that breakout. But obviously, from a price action standpoint, it makes sense. Break and retest, next logical place, resistance up there, 1.42. But it would take a lot of fundamentals for us to make such a meaningful move to the upside. And again, there's a lot of fundamentals at that time, driving price higher and higher and higher for pound and dollar weakness at that time. So there was a lot of fundamentals behind it, which was in sync with the break and retest kind of technical analysis bias. So I like to see if I can add a bit more of that to the long-term analysis. But yeah, day-to-day stuff, or week-to-week even, probably just keep it purely technicals. Good to keep up to date with news and stuff going on. Yeah, 100%. Do agree. I mean, I don't really look at the news too much, to be fair. It's very interesting. It's like a good movie to see what's happening next with the interest rates. Like a good movie. Should make it a movie out there. How inflation is going up and they keep raising interest rates. And lucky with that your USD trade from yesterday. Yeah, I mean, again, I was looking for that move to the upside for Euro USD. and it's still respecting the exact same support, and it looks to be just a bit of a fake out on the dollar because DXY and Euro USD went sync at that time. Dollar was getting that break and retest. Euro USD is coming back to the lows of the range, so I'm expecting to see a bounce from both of them, to the downside for the dollar and to the upside for euro. So it made perfect sense. But price had this big move to the upside. Was that news? I think it might be news. I'm not too sure. But we did break to the upside there, and now we're just coming back underneath. So it looks like the market kind of just faked the upside, taking people's stop losses, getting people caught on the wrong side of buying the breakout there. And obviously Euro USD is still holding on to that support there. So to me, it looks like the market's just had a big fake out, really. And we could be looking to sell off. So I'm actually waiting to see if this next 4H candle can close back below that zone, and I'll see if I can get the retest on the DXY and see what Euro USD is saying at that time as well. Possibly could look for a re-entry to take it back to the upside and dollar come back down. But yeah, to me, it looks like just a bit of a fake out there yesterday for Euro USD and the DXY. But yeah, still expecting this to roll over if we get the close back below, which still means I'm still expecting upside for NZD/USD, which has kind of already happened. AUD/USD kind of already happened. Those pairs have been quite strong. Obviously upside for Euro USD if you hold the support, Pound USD as well. Obviously Pound's about to have the interest rate, so a lot can happen with Pound, really. We'll see what happens with that, but could change. Hey, what's up, King City? Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Welcome. Hope you're doing good. Out of water onto the second cup. Yeah, that was neat. Oh, okay, yeah, makes sense. I mean, again, it's in character. The way price just exploded there makes perfect sense. And then we got some more news later today, and news on dollar on Friday with NFP, Bank of England today, and then NFP tomorrow. So we've got some more news coming in. So yeah, anyone trading any pound pairs, do be careful, do watch out. Obviously expecting rates to go up, but whether that actually has a positive effect on the immediate price action is a mystery. Normally it would go up, but don't necessarily want to bet any trades on it. Also, you are minutes behind on the chat. I don't know if it's because you read the ones above first, but I don't think so. I send this exactly 11:36. Let's see when you read it. So I'm the experiment. You actually did an experiment on me. That's hilarious. You send that 11:36. What time am I reading it? 11:37. It's only 1 minute delay. That's funny. It's funny because as I was reading it, I realised that you do an experiment with that message. Well, that was funny. But yeah, it's only a minute delay. You guys can wait a minute. Guru, just watching the market this week. Nice, taking it easy. So yeah, with the dollar, still expecting to see some weakness as I was looking yesterday. Looks like a bit of a fake out. But we'll see how that candle closes. But yeah, we do have a lot of news coming up later to end the week, so it might not be the best time to get involved unless you're looking from a quick kind of perspective, a quick little day trade here and there. But yeah, it could get a little bit groovy later. It's moved up 100 pips already. Which one's moved up 100 pips? You talking pounds? Okay, 1 minute and a couple of seconds. Yeah, it's only a minute. And to be fair, I'm not the fastest reader in the world either. and you set stream latency to low latency. It's set to normal latency right now, so there's around a 20-second delay. Oh, so there is an actual delay set for it. Okay, I didn't know that. You have to reset the stream to do it. Someone created studios, maybe next stream you can have it active. Okay. Okay, I had no idea. I'll go and actually take a look at that. GJ moved up 100 pips. Oh, did it? Yeah, it's still pushing. Yeah, it doesn't look like we'll get that break and retest there at 163. Could happen, but we're not far off 163.800. Might just hit that little level there. But yeah, pound JPY still looking strong in the 4H, and so does the other JPY pairs. But pound JPY, it could be starting to react to the news. Sometimes you do see that price start to react a little bit early. Pounds a little bit pushing as well. I want dollar to push up. You want dollar to push up? Do you have a bullish bias on dollar? I mean, to be fair, I do as well. Long term, I still do see dollar rising, and long term, I still do see Euro USD falling, because the structure is still intact. So nothing really has changed too much. But I'm looking to see if Euro USD can pop to the upside at one more push, retest that level there, and then see the continuations back down again. I'm looking at dollar potentially falling a little bit further, testing this level here, and then pushing to the upside, which he almost did, to be fair. If dollar can break through this structure here, then that'll change my kind of bias for the dollar. If you can break through that, something like this, little break, little high low somewhere, and then yeah, we can push the upside through that. But if not, then I'm still looking at the dollar rolling over a little bit further, maybe the next major high low, and then the continuations after that. And kind of same with Euro USD as well. One more push, and then unless we break to the downside out of the range for Euro USD, if we do that, then yeah, fares, we're coming back down to lows. But yeah, at the moment price is still holding that bearish structure, so still favouring bearish until that breaks. No, it's totally fine. Just okay. Glad it's not too much of a problem then. But yeah, I'll take a little look. Just search low latency YouTube and the first. Okay, cheers, bro. Much appreciated. Bro, is this your first time on the stream? Or one of the first? If that makes sense. No, but if dollar pushes US 30, will go back down. Better price to buy it. Oh, okay. Wait, how do you keep doing that? I literally removed you from the stream. Mate, they don't give up. No, but if dollar pushes up, US 30 will come back down. Better price to buy. Yeah, US 30 is still looking long. US 30 is still looking long. So US 30, what we were looking at yesterday, I was looking at that potential head and shoulders, but price just rocketed through that level there, very, very aggressively indeed. So yeah, price is still looking bullish for US 30. We maintain those higher lows, and same with US 100 as well. Still trading in this range. But yeah, the structure is still looking bullish. We may even take that high out actually, and break through that, or at least come and test it. We'll see our price does. But yeah, market's still creating higher highs and higher lows, so it would make sense. If you do see a weakness, if you do see weakness in the dollar. Could change the price action there, but still trading into that consolidation, so could still react to that. What I think about oil, okay, I'll take a look at oil. We do, no problemo. Okay, I just dropped random guess. GJ will sometime today be at 164, 150. GU at 122, 500 is tough, but yeah, casino time. No, don't trade based on that guess. Don't worry. Okay. I mean, so you're expecting to see some dollar. I mean, I was about to say dollar, pound strength then, off the back of the news, which is in about 15 minutes. But I'll take a look at oil. I mean, me too, to be fair. I'm expecting to see bullish pound, but again, not really looking to trade that. So yeah, oil. I was looking at oil. I was looking at oil on my weekly analysis. Was it 2 or 3 weeks back? I can't remember. But yeah, I had a long-term bias of price coming back down to here, 74.63. So still looking at price climbing or falling, I should say, back down to that area there. It looks like eventually this level, well, looks like it has broken. Not the cleanest break in the world because price is lacking a lot of momentum. It would be nice if price just broke through straight like that. But yeah, price is still looking quite bearish. Still maintain those lower highs there. So for me, as long as these lower highs still maintain, which the market is still doing, expecting more downside. Eventually 74.63. We do have this higher here as well. We can look at. You know, that was the last kind of high before we had that pullback and that crazy momentum to the upside. So 85 is definitely a place to consider targeting your trades to. But yeah, the lower highs are still in contact there. Not in contact, intact. Still intact. So still expecting that structure to maintain really. Now we've broken through 94. A little retest of that level could be a nice place to short. Probably got a confluence of some type of trend line there if I can connect the dots here. Okay, that doesn't look too good. Okay, maybe no confluence of a trend line. Actually, jackpot. So yeah, we got a confluence of a trend line around here, connecting. Let me get rid of that. Connecting this high there, that second high, that one there. Bit of a false break, but this one here as well, around 94, which lines up perfectly with that level there. So it is confluence of the trend line. Again, only using the trend line as confluence, not really to buy and sell. Buy and sell, we want to be using those levels there. So yeah, 94, if that can hold resistance, nice strong close yesterday. Hold that as resistance, sells off the back of that. Can look for 85 and then possibly 74.63 for a bit more of a swing long-term target. But yeah, looking like we're snapping through that. Lower highs are maintaining. As long as we don't go break structure, most likely we'll continue that bearish path. And 85 looks like the next logical place I expect price to push into. So yeah, still bearish bias for oil. But yeah, I'll take a look at GJ and GU. So GU had to break through that level there, but it could do that. Where's 122.500? Okay, so you expect price to come back to the highs there, and GJ is still pushing big time. So yeah, if it retraces now, that's yeah, I don't think that's going to retrace anyway. But yeah, what did you say, 164 to 164, 150? Okay, so back at this area here on the left then, I'm expecting. But yeah, we'll see what happens with the news. Again, not trying to predict too much, but interest rates expected to rise. And so is the pound. And so is the pound. I mean, we'll take a look to see how price gets on, because I look to end the stream around 12, but I'll leave the stream running a couple minutes after, see what type of price action we get when the news is released. Okay, I'll just draw. I'm reading your message again. I'm watching NZJPY and NZCHF for short. Okay, we'll take a look at that. Hello. USJPY, of course, we'll go into that as well. So yeah, NZJPY and the CHF, we'll take a little look see. So yeah, NZJPY came back into this little level of support here and still just about holding on to it, so reacting to that level there. Looking to see if you can fall another level high. However, excuse me, the market's been forming these lower highs. You can see 1, 2, 3, kind of equal high with that one. Looking to see if you can form a fourth one, don't know, maybe around here, coming to that level, possibly there as well. But yeah, the market is kind of in a bit of like a, probably say bull flag / range. So the market is fluctuating. So the best kind of way to trade this is buy low, sell high. So as we're pushing up, you know, this is the area we want to be looking to sell. If we get the breakout, then yeah, the price is going to fly and see a continuation of this move here. So this move is around almost 700 pips. We could potentially see another 700. Oh, you could potentially see another 700, something like that. So if we do get the breakout of this, we can obviously look for a break and retest somewhere, and then yeah, continuation to some new highs. But if we fail again at these highs, we most likely will come straight back down and just repeat that pattern until we eventually get a break to the downside or to the upside. But yeah, as we're coming higher into these areas, this is where we want to be looking to short the pair if you do have a bearish bias. If you're looking to go long, you want price to either come back down again to the lows or wait for price to take the structure out, and then yeah, get a pullback off the back of that, and then look to go long, because buys coming into these areas is not the best place for that. So yeah, we're looking exceptionally bearish. I mean, exceptionally bullish here on the 4H time frame. See what type of price action we get there. Possibly because there be some nice shorts. If not, nice shorts up here, coming into this high up here, in around that trend line area. Could see some downside from that if we can respect those areas, of course. But yeah, if you do have a bullish bias and you're looking to buy the pair, you do want price to come a lot lower, 83,600 area, back down to these lows. Risk to reward will be a lot better as well. But short bias coming to the high of the range, looking for sales at those areas, snap through that, see a breakout, maybe another 700 pip move to the upside. And NTCHF, almost, well, similar price action, but this one's very sideways. Failed to break to the downside. I was actually trading this one at the start of the week, but did come back to hit me break even. Whereas there is, so it did come back to hit me break even, but now we're just right back in that range. So key support here. This is the low. We didn't really come back here, so this is the support that price is kind of respecting right now. If we can hold this, price can drop back down to the lows of the range. So really sells from that area, not really looking to do anything else unless we do have a break and retest, something like that. Then yeah, buys would be good, but that's the only way we're really looking to buy the pair. So if you're looking to buy, wait for the break and retest 0.60559. If you're looking to sell, great area, stop loss above the high, and then you look for a push down to the lows of the range. Probably want to wait for hourly, or at least hourly, for some confirmations to get involved first. But yeah, both trading at some nice areas. To short, if you're looking to buy, wait for the breakouts and retrace. Okay, we'll take a look at USJPY. You got any possible setups for today to look out for? Looks for me, I don't see much intraday. Also, you were right, DJ just pushed, didn't retrace. Yeah, I mean, I think it's because of the 4H candle, which is why price just continued. Really, because that 4H candle closed very bullish. So odds are price is going to continue that momentum. maybe if the 4H candle left a bit more of a wick and it kind of pulled back a little bit, closed maybe about here, still closing above the level. You don't want the 4H to close below the level because that shows rejection and we might actually roll over the other way. But if we left a bit more of a wick, we might have seen a bit more bearish momentum come back on the lower time frames, retrace a little bit, get the retest and then continue up. But because it closed with such a little wick, shows momentum is still very, very strong, and most likely continue. Again, everything's not 100%. We could still have retraced, but just looking at the momentum, it didn't look like that was the likely outcome. But again, everything's not going to happen to plan. Find the next setup. But yeah, momentum's closing like this on pretty much any time frame, but especially 4H. Do expect the next candle to push along with it. But yeah, the setups I'm still looking at need time to develop because I'm mainly focused on the dollar pairs, specifically Euro USD. I'm looking to see if this can close bearish. It looks like it will. About 4 minutes left till that closes. So for me, this is like a bit of a fake out to the upside for the DXY. So as long as we stay back below this level now, 106,400, I'm expecting Euro DXY to fall, and on the contrary, I'm expecting Euro USD to go up to obviously respect that level. So I'll be looking to see if Euro USD can break to the upside out of this range and eventually go and hit that daily target up there. So at this level here, expecting price to eventually go and hit that level up there, and then yeah, maybe possibly sell off the back of that. So yeah, the setup I'm kind of looking for a bit more swing trading, so not intraday, but yeah, I push the higher the range initially, then if we get the breakout 1.035, then the drop. If not, and we clear the support, then yeah, Euro USD is coming back down to these lows, and if that's the case, we'll look for a little cheeky break and retest, and then yeah, shorts back down to lows for Euro USD, because it is in the range, so it's not the most free-flowing market, but the DXY is kind of actually trending a little bit more. So that's why I'm looking at Euro USD, because there's a bit of a trend to this one, so it makes sense on the DXY. I'm just taking that information into Euro. But yeah, I'll take a look at USD JPY. The news is going to come out in about 3 minutes or so, so I'll go and take a look at pound USD in a moment. But yeah, so USD/JPY coming into that area again, see if we can hold. If it can, a push back down to this support, because we respected it a couple times now. On the higher time frames, I'm expecting a bigger reversal for USD/JPY of where we're coming into, back into these highs. As you can see, big sell off, expect to see some type of reaction again from that level. So as we're coming back into this, yeah, USD/JPY shorts do look good from this level. Again, probably want to wait for some confirmations, at least from the hourly at least. But from here, 134.5, drop back down to 132, looking good. You can see the structure here, high up there, lower high, looking for the next one, and then yeah, drop back down. So yeah, hopefully that made sense. CAD JPY, okay, we'll take a look. Allison, no problemo. Am I in trades? No, I'm not in any trades. I was trading USD yesterday, but I got stopped out of that one. And I was trading NZD/CHF at the start of the week, and again hit break even with that one. Did bank some partials on that because I did hit my first TP. NZD/CHF, we did go into the lows here, so my entry was around here, and shorted it back down to these lows. So I did take some partials, and that's when I went to break even. But as you can see, price is flowing to the upside. So the end goal for this one was these lows down here. It didn't quite happen, so only a partial win for that one. But yeah, currently not in any trades. Got my eyes on a couple setups, and if you guys do want to check out my setups and follow my watch list for the week with my trading, feel free to go do that. I do have a Telegram in the description, so go check that out if you want to. Links to that in the description. Also, if you scroll to the top of the chat, there is a link to my Telegram there as well. But yeah, I'll take a look at CAD. What do you think about selling AUSD at 0.7? Yeah, I was looking at AUSD at the start of the stream. 0.7 does look good. because I know a lot of people looking for sell there. Always potential, got to react to the market where it does to that level. Yeah. Again, it just depends how far we sell. If we could react a little bit, we could react a lot. That's obviously up to the market. Yes, yeah, that's the confidence I'm looking to aim for, really. That's the confidence I'm looking to aim for with those Euro USD buys. But yeah, CAD Yen. CAD Yen, I'm looking for sells up there at 105, 200. So that's really where I'm interested to the market to come back down. At the moment, still seeing momentum, and since we broke through this level here as well, yeah, price is pushing up a little bit. So 105 is where I do think the market can come down. But in terms of direction, I do agree with you there, Alison, looking to sell. You know, we've got a nice little lower high. Well, we've got a high up there, lower high. Look for the next one somewhere. Nice little break and retest of that low, looks good. But yeah, I do see CAD pushing back down again. Oh, it's just gone 12. So we do have the interest rates for pound. If I can find it, there you are. Okay, big wick to the upside. Already taking some liquidity out of there, the highs there. People get excited a little bit too early. To be fair, it's always interesting to watch the news happen when you're not in a trade. You know, it's very, very relaxing. When you're in the trade, no, it's not relaxing at all. Okay, yeah, pound JPY just went to hit your target there, Robro. Wicked into that target. But again, in this kind of scenario, I'll wait for at least the 30-minute candle closure. 30 minutes to go by before trying to really take advantage of the price action on any pair really after news, because this can fluctuate a lot. Now it's looking quite bearish. Give it a couple minutes, could be looking very, very bullish. You know, things can change up and down. So I wouldn't really look in too much. It's always better the more you leave it, so an hour will be better than half an hour, but I'd say half an hour is, you know, bare minimum, I would say, before looking to investigate properly and analyze, because you do see a lot of that with US interest rates. When you have the speech after, which is half an hour later, you see for the first half an hour price makes its mind up, moves a certain direction, and then sometimes when the speech happens we go the opposite way. So with those type of scenarios where we got an interest rate for the dollar, then a speech by the Fed or something, you probably want to wait an hour before analyzing. Yeah, pound is tanking. How's pound JPY looking? More or less the same. Which is why you don't, you know, just form that bias and just jump in, because obviously, you know, everyone's expecting rates to increase. Everyone's expecting rates to increase, so everyone's expecting price to go up, and then sometimes price doesn't actually do that. So yeah, rates did increase by 0.5. Rates did increase by 0.5. So you would expect pound to react bullish to that. Obviously, right now it's a little bit bearish, but like I said, things fluctuate. At least give it half an hour. It's only been 3 minutes. Things can change. When price comes to the level, let's say on USDJPY, what are you looking out for? Do you need 4H doji and then golfing, or do you wait for an hour, 15 min, and look for breakout structure? What do you do in that scenario? Basically, I'm just looking for candlestick patterns. My entry time frame is hourly time frame. Sometimes I do use full H depending on if the hourly is a little bit messy or if I can afford to have a big stop loss. But yeah, I'm just looking for candlestick patterns. Bear with. Did they keep creating new accounts or something? So yeah, I'm just basically looking for candlestick patterns. I keep my entries very, very simple. Candlestick pattern, and I look to give myself room in the stop loss, because placing stop losses just above wicks and stuff for me doesn't really work too well. I like giving myself some room. But yeah, I'm just looking for candlestick patterns. Engulfing, my most probably traded pattern at those levels. But for me, I don't really like wait for like breaking structure and that stuff, because I'm really kind of in tune with structure. So for example, with USJPY, if I go to that one for a second, USJPY, you know, it really has bearish structure here. You've got the high up there, low, high, low, high, low. So that the structure is already bearish. So I'm really in tune with that. I wouldn't want to try and go into like the 15 minute and then wait for another break of structure and then trade that. Some people do that, perfectly fine, but that's not really for me. I'm waiting for like a good strong close. This is a nice bearish candle, but I want to see a bigger one than that, because I know price is still making these high highs and high lows. So if we can do another stronger one, maybe closing around here, really engulfing that price action, because at the end of the day, price kind of just moves sideways here. That would be a nice little entry, and I'll give myself some room above here, or potentially above the whole zone completely. And yeah, just short it to my target. First target is always like a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-2, and then if I want to swing the trades, I do have long-term targets back down here. I'll probably look to take most of my profit at this low, and then just leave some to trickle to see if I can get to 127. But yeah, nothing crazy. Got stopped at B on. Got stopped at B on GJ. Would have been up another 30 pips. My target 163.850 was smashed. Took partials though, so it's all good. Okay, that's all good. That's all good. I mean, again, the news going to react like that. It's going to react. Which is why, you know, a little stop loss to break even is very, very helpful when you're trading through the news. Trades in profit could easily swap into trades of loss. So yeah, looking quite bearish right now. Only been 6 minutes, so don't take it too to heart right now. Things could flip in the next 15 minutes, but interest rates have increased. You would expect pound to go up. We may react bearish for the time being, so we may see some downside maybe for a day or two, and then price could later correct and go up potentially. Obviously dollar will play a factor in that, of course. How did the DXY close? DXY did close bearish, now we're coming back in. So if you can hold this on the retest, do expect dollar to fall and some upside for euro, so I'll keep an eye on that. But yeah guys, I've come to the end of the stream. I hope you've all enjoyed it, found it useful. If you have, make sure you drop a like on the video, guys. Make sure you do drop a like. It does really help the channel out and all of that lovely stuff. If you haven't done already, subscribe to the channel. I do go live every Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. London time. Just chat, share trades and all that great stuff. But yeah guys, I will be posting a video tomorrow, so do look out for that, on how I analyze the chart, my kind of methodology behind analysis. So there's so many ways to analyze the charts, but I'll kind of show you what I'm actually looking for. It's not just drawing lines all over the shop and everywhere and anywhere. But so I'll post in that video how to structure analysis, how I structure my analysis. Yeah, I'll be posting that tomorrow, so make sure you're check out the video, subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss out on that. And I will be posting on the weekend as well, forecasting next week. US 30 haven't moved at all. Yeah, I mean it is pound news at the end of the day. It's not really dollar news. Again, the news in the markets fundamentals do affect quite a lot of other currencies as well, but it is pound news at the end of the day, so I wouldn't expect anything too crazy. If I look at Euro USD, has kind of tanked a little bit, but nothing too crazy. So Euro USD is reacting, USD CAD a little bit. So it really is pound. Dollar's the one that it just affects everything and anything. When the dollar interest rates go off, everything goes off. But it's pounds, so I wouldn't expect too much for US 30. But yeah, it hasn't reacted much. The real thing you want to be waiting for US 30 is NFP tomorrow. That's going to be the catalyst for tomorrow. Damn, happy birthday to those short to GJ. Yeah, I mean, hopefully they take their profit, because that could turn around quite quickly. But yeah, guys, I will be live again Tuesday, so I will see you all then. Be there, be square. Stay safe, don't go burning accounts. We do have news again on Friday as well for NFP, so do watch out for that as well. You know, protect your cap. But yeah, guys, have a great day, and I'll catch you all tomorrow. Not tomorrow, actually I will catch you tomorrow, because I'll be posting the video tomorrow, but in live stream I'll catch you all next Tuesday.